working out.
That's absolutely the reason why this game was as close as it was. Because Mahomes and I'm sure the whole Kansas City group went in thinking, okay, this is an in-season bye, and we're going to be able to relax, and we'll be up by 30, and guys will be out by halftime, and everybody else. And so when you go into that with that mentality, you get games like you got. And it's totally different for Carolina. Carolina, this was the Super Bowl. This is the measuring stick. My son, who's a Carolina fan, was so happy yesterday.
Why'd you do that to him?
With a lot. I didn't do it to him.
It feels like Bryce is back.
But
It's
I'm
like,
just
look,
saying,
Bryce, the franchise quarterback.
all that optimism in Carolina for keeping it that close against Kansas City, where Kansas City thinking, oh, it's going to be that's why it ends up being like it is.
Can I tell you something? And the coach and I disagree sometimes. But it's more usually philosophical disagreement than actual reading of what happened. I fundamentally disagree with you that Kansas City thought they were going to blow out the Panthers. I don't think they expect to blow anybody out. Go ahead.
Can we run that audio?
No, he said I'd love to. He didn't say we expect to.
No, can we run the audio that I have?
Coach has audio. Oh, okay, yeah. So
all right, so look, I don't want to see anybody hanging their head, man. This league is crazy. That's the way this thing goes. You saw it yesterday with college football. Nothing's given to you, and you're getting their best shot. So you keep your heads up, man, and we get this thing rolling. Right? We got some things we got to clean up, but we keep it rolling here. That's the important part. Winning is the important part right here. And you guys bear down and got it done. All right, let's give it one Chiefs here. How about those Chiefs?
So, Coach, I saw that, and I thought I was going to play that clip.
Well, I'm playing the clip because he's telling his disappointed locker room not to be disappointed. And the reason they're disappointed is they can't believe that this team that they thought was horrible came in and played as well as they did, and they played as poorly as they did. And it's human nature. You fight it all the time when you're playing down teams late in the year of telling your guys this could be a problem. And you're constantly preaching it, and then everybody's upset in the locker room because you didn't play well enough. And at the end of the day, the win is all that matters.
Yeah, so I agree with that part. So I saw the Andy sound as well, and I thought it was a really good sign for the Chiefs that Andy read the locker room as disappointed. That they recognized, we didn't do everything we could have done in this game, and that even though they won, they were disappointed. What is frustrating to me about the Chiefs' commentary is so much of it is fan fiction. So much of it is, if they hadn't won last year's Super Bowl after looking terrible, way worse than they looked this year, no, it's not just Brew. I'm not picking on Brew. If they had lost some of these games where they play with their food, but they don't, and they haven't.
Okay. We got to stop with this. Because first off, he was like, no, I don't think that they thought that they were going to have a blowout win. And then we see Andy Reid addressing a disappointed locker room. And he's like, well, no, okay, I agree with that. And it's like, no. The Kansas City Chiefs know to their core that they're not playing as good as they have in the past. They know that they are not as dominant as they have been in the past. So yeah, this is a shell-shocked team right now. This is a shell-shocked Mahomes, a Kelsey, a Reid, everyone. They're all like, this is not how we expected this to go. No question about it. It's undeniable. You can hear it from Andy Reid. He has to continue to pump this team up. A team that's won multiple Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes and everything. And yet he still has to be like, it's okay, guys. Don't panic. Let's not panic. This is just the way it goes. So no, you want to talk about fan fiction? Nick Wright is coming in here with fan fiction. He's the one that's saying, they're just trying to experiment in the beginning of games. They're just trying to be close. I hear other Kansas City Chiefs fans say this. They say, Andy Reid is sandbagging the team. They're playing bad on purpose to make other teams feel like they have a chance to not reveal how good they are come time playoffs. That's fan fiction. Saying that they're going to go undefeated, that's fan fiction. Acting like that there's not problems with this team, that's fan fiction. I mean, the Carolina, first off, I got news for you. Beating the Kansas City Chiefs right now for the Carolina Panthers, it's not their Super Bowl. It's just not. People want to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, but let's stop pretending like the Kansas City Chiefs get everyone else's best shot, and at all other games, everyone just is like, nah, whatever, who cares? Nah, who cares? It's just not accurate in modern era of football. It's just not. It's really not. I mean, which is it? Do divisional games get their best shot? Because that's what everyone always says. That's what they always say. Hey, this is why, divisional games are so close. Because the teams know each other and you get their best shot. Or is it also just against the Super Bowl winners? Like, I don't understand. I mean, it's just we pick and choose when we want to make these things a reality. Here's the actual reality of this game. We can explain it away however we want. Whether it's because, they thought that this was just going to be an in-season buy or whatever the heck the expression is. Or that, this was going to just be an easy game. Carolina, they averaged 15 first downs a game, which would put them bottom in the NFL, 32nd. Against KC, they had 21, which would put them top 5 in the league. They're bottom 5 in third down conversion rate, Carolina. Versus KC, top 15. Total yards, they are dead last. Versus KC, they were actually tied with KC for 16th. So their offense was just as good as Kansas City's offense. The Carolina Panthers were just as good as the average offense than with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That's wild. That's wild. Scoring, points per game. They have the 4th worst. They average 16 points per game. Against the Kansas City Chiefs, they were top 5. Scoring, obviously, 27. Yards per play, Carolina was 5.8. Kansas City Chiefs, 5.8. Yards per pass, Carolina was 6.7. Kansas City was 5.4. Those things have nothing to do with best shot versus whatever. It has nothing to do with it. The Carolina Panthers' best shot should be inferior to whatever, at least offensively. I don't care what the injuries are, because now you got the run game. Kareem Hunt has been a workhorse for you. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid. You got DeAndre Hopkins. You have Travis Kelce. I mean, the whole thing is how many weapons do you want for Patrick Mahomes? Again, Patrick Mahomes is supposed to be the greatest quarterback in the history of the world. He's supposed to be able to overcome all of this. Just like Nick Wright says about Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert. If we're going to be fair, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. But yet you have Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers? I mean, it just doesn't even make sense. Carolina has the worst red zone defense in the NFL. 66.7%. They're just giving out touchdowns left and right. They held KC to 40%, 2 for 5, which would be the best in the league. The Carolina Panthers, their best shot is not supposed to be even remotely on par with an average phone-in game for the Kansas City Chiefs. So if you want to recreate history and recreate the narratives and make them into fan fiction, by all means, be my guest. But I also distinctly remember going into this game, they all said, Nick Wright included, said, it would be bad if this game came down to a last-second field goal. And yet, here we are. A last-second field goal. I mean, we talked about the Falcons giving the best shot, the Eagles, the Lions, the whoever's, and yet their team's best shot were still unable to put up, what was it, like 20 points? I forget what that cutoff was. And yet now you have the Carolina Panthers put up 27, and it's like, well, this was their best shot. Of course that's going to happen. Why? It hasn't historically for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's happening now. The Chiefs are obviously a great team. They are a top team. No one's disputing that. But they are not this head and shoulders dominant team. Look what the Eagles did against the Rams. The Rams are a better team than the Panthers. Look what the Lions do to any of those other teams. Whether we want to say the Panthers, the Jags, the Colts. That's what more dominant teams look like right now. It's just the reality. We can explain it away all we want. We're talking about evaluating this season right now. Week 12, 13, 14. We're not talking about Super Bowl predictions. We're not talking about who would win the AFC Championship, the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills. That's not the discussion. That's always moving the target, moving the goalpost. A red herring over here, an ad hominem over there. That's what people who want to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, who are fans, always want to move this all around. They always want to do sleight of hand. Well, Super Bowl, playoffs. That's not what the conversation is about. That's not what the conversation is about. And you know what? Kansas City Chiefs fans will say, hey, I'm not worried. Andy Reid is worried. That's why he's talking to the locker room like that. So you're going to tell me that you're not worried, but Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid are worried? You think you know more than Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes? Again, if you think you know more about Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, about the Kansas City Chiefs, God bless you. A part of me is actually really envious that that's the way how your mind works, because I would probably be like a billionaire. If I had that level of self-belief in myself, it probably would have helped me more. Honestly. I probably would have started like all these companies. I would have been like moving all over the place. I would have been a mover and a shaker. So again, God bless you. But I hate to be the one to maybe pop your reality bubble, your fantasy bubble. You don't know more than Andy Reid. You don't know more than Patrick Mahomes. You don't know more than Travis Kelce. You don't know more than Spags. I promise you, they're concerned. We heard their sound bites. We see their quotes. We see their energy. You think Spags isn't like, how did we just give up 27 points to the Carolina Panthers? You think Andy Reid's not like, hey, yeah, it's great that we can win these games, but this is too hard. Patrick Mahomes, the brilliant player that he is, you think he knows that it's sustainable to keep winning games like this? He said it's not. He knows it's not. So again, if you want to disagree, if you want to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan and disagree with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, that might be just one of the funniest things ever. That's a Saturday Night Live sketch right there, man. Fans yelling at Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid saying they don't know anything about the Chiefs. That's a funny sketch, man. Book it, write it, make a YouTube video about it. Let's do it. Hit me up. I got sketch and improv experience. I was in LA. Let's do it, man. I'm right there with you. We'll workshop it. Because that's what I see from fans. Again, you literally had Nick Wright arguing with Mangini about what Andy Reid is saying to his locker room. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Just crazy. Crazy. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Kansas City Chiefs? Any concerns that KC didn't blow out Carolina? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.